just being fortunate enough to be able to born out in that country there at the time. Never wanted for anything. We always had food, clothing, and we were well looked after, you know. There was always food there. Plenty of game to wild ducks. If you wanted one, you could go and get one of them, and fish, all that sort of business. And we were never short of food except during the war when things were rationed. You had to watch what you were doing. So they, you know, being out there with people that with my mother and grandfather and grandmother, my uncles, well, they were happy days. I wish I could have them over again, but I should have gone back, put it that way, but I didn't. I got mixed up with other things around the, you know, town life, and I took other work. Probably the worst. One of the worst decisions of my life, but never mind, that's gone. I would have had the opportunity to go back there and learn more about station life and cattle work with my grandfather. And what he didn't know about that sort of work, well, he wouldn't worry about, you know. He knew it from inside out. There's very little that he couldn't do with a horse or a cow, you know. But I didn't, and I came back and I got engaged with other things.
Employment on the stations basically ceased years ago when my uncles left up here to find work down in Townsville, because it came to the point where the Aboriginal people at one stage were cared for by the station manager or the station itself. They looked after them, fed them, clothed them, and all that sort of thing. And then the next thing they, because of the equal rights thing, the wages that were granted to all people, it was no longer viable for station owners to have such a huge workforce of Aboriginal people, because you just wouldn't, the property wouldn't survive. So therefore a lot of the people who were on the properties then left and went to various towns to earn a living. And it was Atherton, Ingham, Townsville, some are in Mount Isa, they're all over the place. And you've got some in Darwin, some down in Canberra, so they're pretty well spread out.
Well, I think the sad part about it was when they all left and went to town. And I mean, that link was sort of severed after that. I mean, before that, they were all on the land and they really had a good life. But when they left the land, you know, their life wasn't really, well, how would you say, it wasn't what they expected when they went away to town.
People just kind of had to go where there was employment for them. And consequently they lost a lot of contact with the land. I came back from time to time, but it was just, they were very busy in their other lives. So this was part of this thing of having the cultural camp every year, was to try and get everybody back together again, the kids together. You know, some of the kids had never met each other. Some of us had never met so-and-so's kids because, you know, they lived down in Whoop Whoop. And it's a good opportunity for everyone to make contact again.
Some went to Darwin, and I went west. I went to Mount Isa, and to a totally different environment. But we never stopped coming back. I mean, every holidays we'd come back. Yeah, and to me it wasn't long enough. So yeah, I saw the opportunity of coming back to live and done it. Well, actually, it was my children who come back first and decided they wanted to settle back at Greenvale. So we saw the opportunity and bang, we come home.
They're kids who need a bit of direction. They're all currently wrapped up in the American style of life and the reggae stuff and all that sort of thing. And it's a that in itself is a different culture. They're very involved in that, whereas their own culture they're not so involved with. Yet when they're out here, it's a different thing. They tend to sort of come alive a bit, sort of thing, because we don't allow all the rock music out onto the camp. It doesn't come. Neither does Coca-Cola, neither do brand name shirts and shorts and shoes. They all stay home. We're looking at the quality of our heritage, not an American culture thing coming in with a, you know, they come in and you see this. You know, the hat back the front, the big baggy trousers, and they're all bopping around to the... Maybe I'm old, I don't know, but you know, that's to me is not culture. It's somebody else's culture. It's not ours. The only music you want to hear is people talking around the campfire. And that's, what's the name? Not that I have anything against anybody that's musically gifted. Look, that's wonderful. But I just think there's a time and a place for everything.
You got the chance to go back and, you know, walk the river systems like our ancestors done. And, well, for my children, yes, they do it. They enjoy it. And it's just to see, when they do have the cultural camp, how much the younger ones enjoy it. Yeah, and they're willing to learn. So I think that's a stepping stone. Once we get that going properly, yes, I'd say that'd be our future, and hopefully they will come back and settle on the land and, you know, work close by.